What is going on, guys? Back again today on this rainy Monday afternoon. Today I'm going to be giving you my honest feedback and review of my 2017 K&M Renegade XMR 570. If you saw my other video, you saw or heard me say that me and a couple of buddies were going to be going out riding on Saturday, which we did. I ended up putting about 4.5 hours on the bike itself. I wasn't going hard or anything because I wanted to break it in properly. The manual says 10 hours of under 3/4 throttle, no aggressive acceleration, and no steady speeds. So I was definitely out there playing around, playing in some mud holes, seeing what it could do, but I wasn't going as hard as I would if it was fully broken in. I feel like the only flaw or thing that bugs me is, I don't know if this is just mine or if it's an all XMR type thing, but I know that the front diff has it's a locking front diff. So if I kind of give it a good bit of throttle and it jerks, or if I am giving it good throttle and let off quick, you'll hear a clunking noise like the spider gear hitting the axles and clunking together like it's a little loose in there. I mentioned it to the dealer, like the head maintenance guy, when I first bought it, and he said that it was possibly just the fact that it was brand new, just out of the crate. I got a buddy that said he went riding with a bunch of other Can-Ams a few weeks back, and theirs were all doing it too. So, I mean, yeah, it's irritating to hear. Bike's under warranty. If something were to happen, it's covered. So, I'm just gonna run it. For the first couple hours, I rode the bike with it on the normal key. Like I explained in the last video, comes with a green and a white key. Your green key is normal, which would be for your older person that doesn't really enjoy the torque and speed, or say you want to let your wife ride it but you don't want her to have it full capability, or say you have a younger kid that wants to ride it. So I was riding around on that. Speed, I didn't really get to any high speeds, but it would reach up there. The throttle response and the acceleration was pretty low on the normal key. But after about hour 4, I ran it on the performance key for about 30 minutes. And with the performance key, it's perfect. I know that if I got a 850 or a 1000, I would probably be breaking everything in the drivetrain. The tires that come with it are the Maxxis Mudzillas, and I'm happy with them. I went through one hole at the place that we usually go to that Anthony normally gets stuck in every single time in the Eiger. Obviously, he's got lower tread tires, but I went through it in 4 high. I was kind of creeping. I was just trying to see how it would do low end, not like trying to barrel through the hole itself, but it got right through it, and I was very, very satisfied. Based off of price point, a lot of people that I tell that I bought this and tell them how much I got it for, they themselves say no way that they wouldn't do it. But for how long I plan on keeping this bike, I feel like you get what you pay for. I feel like it was I'm not dissatisfied with the amount of money I spent for this bike. I know if I were to buy a used bike, yes, it would be cheaper, but then in the end I'd be putting parts in it because I know what I would do with a four-wheeler, so I know what everybody else does with a four-wheeler, so it gets wore out. Like the Eiger, every single time we go to ride, something happens to it. We got it together the day after my last video, how he had the rear diff out and the axles. The axles came in, he got a rear diff, we put it all together, got it running that night at about midnight, went out riding, probably about 20 minutes out there. He went out into the water to the point where it was floating, so the water was above the seat, and it killed on him. I don't know if it was because of the back pressure for the muffler, maybe it just killed it or what, but we brought it ashore. I towed him out, tipped it on its back to get the water out of the muffler, clicked the starter a couple times to try to clear it out. There was no water in the airbox, and then it wouldn't start at all, like the starter wasn't even getting any power. Brought it back to the truck. He worked on it for probably an hour or two. I tried helping him for a little bit, and I was like, look, I came out here to ride my new four-wheeler. I'm leaving. So I would ride around, come back, help him a little bit, do it again. And then he ended up just taking his red OBS around. But that night I actually figured out it was the ignition relay. Him and Brian were messing with it. I guess they might have swapped the wires around or whatever. So I got it to the point where the ignition relay will click and you'll get the neutral light on, but the starter wouldn't kick over. So we ended up using a screwdriver to jump both posts, got it running. He doesn't care. It's the beating machine. He's going to run it like that. He's just going to keep starting with a screwdriver. So it's going to be funny. I keep trying to convince him to buy a new four-wheeler, but he's not about the life, I guess. But yeah, actually, once I'm finished actually making this video, I'm going to be uploading it a little later on tonight because I am supposed to be going to meet one of the maintenance guys from the dealership I bought it from. Luckily enough, he's going to be meeting me halfway in the town that he's from, which is halfway to the dealership, so I can pick up my radiator relocation kit and my Yosh slip-on exhaust. So I will be doing a installation video and a video of how it sounds with the exhaust, and obviously I'll be doing a review on both products after I take the bike out again and do some more riding to be able to get it. As you know, this is just an initial review because of the fact that I have only put a few bit of hours on it, but I'll probably be making another one here when I get the hours up higher towards like 20 or 30. But like I said earlier, no complaints as of yet besides the front diff clicking. If anybody knows anybody that does have an XMR or has ridden an XMR or owns an XMR, leave in the comments if you have heard or seen the same thing. I feel like it's probably just the lock and diff, but like I said, it's under warranty. If something does happen, I'm not too worried about it. The noise itself is just kind of annoying. I did look up, I was doing a little research. I am going to go with a wild bore back rack. That way I can just have more stability back here so I'm not like pushing down on the fenders. I'm going to get a adapter for back there so I can put a hitch in, and then this thing came with full skid plates underneath it, but the ones for the A-arms are plastic, so I'm going to be replacing those with metal just to be rather safe than sorry. And once I get the exhaust radiator relocation, it's pretty much all I've got thought out for now. I mean, being a 2017, there's not really many parts out for it. So, handling wise, I think this bike is really well with handling. It does have power steering. It does have 3 modes. It has minimum, medium, and maximum. I keep it on medium. I mean, you can easily use it on minimum. I just think that little extra help in medium is really nice. If you put it on maximum, pretty much it's so a small child or very elderly person can turn the handlebars, because it's a lot of assistance. The only issue handlebar wise I have is when I go full lock and left, my handguard bumps this, and I've adjusted it all that I can to make it not, but it still does. When going to the trails, I mean, if you get on it, yeah, the ass end is gonna kick out because it's just gonna start spinning. But if you're just cruising, handling is very good, except if you are in sugar sand, because nothing can handle well in sugar sand. I did test out the headlights at night. They are extremely bright. Can see long distances, so that's good. I don't really ride at night, so it doesn't matter so much to me. Idling, it sounds like a V-twin would, a V-twin bike, but with this muffler on it, it's too quiet for my taste, so that's why I got the other pipe. The seat is very comfortable. It's like sitting on a couch. Alright, so now a little addition to the review, because I feel like my review is a little short. I did just get home from getting my parts. If you watch my other video, you will know that I got a Yoshimura slip-on muffler. Oh, he's got a gnat in the mouth. And a radiator relocation kit from Can-Am. I got both of these because they're both from Can-Am. And that way it doesn't void my warranty, but I can have aftermarket parts. The packing for this Yosh muffler is ridiculous. I like how they just placed it in there and foam filled it. We got a heat shroud here, some instructions. See, Can-Am, Yoshimura, made in the USA. Can-Am. Looks like instructions. Got some sort of, got the coolant bottle. Bunch of knickknacks and patty wax, bracket, another bracket, ooh, a sticker. Some protective hosing for coolant lines. Coolant lines. I believe this is the top cover. It's plastic, and I'm not really a big fan of that. And then we got, oh look, another little coolant line. housing itself, your protection screen. It does come with this little emblem thing. I've seen pictures with it on, but I'm not really a huge... Oh, now it's ruined. But got this thing. Not really a huge fan on how that looks, so I feel like I'm just gonna leave it without. I like the open screen look. I might actually even paint the screen red to match